Hi, everybody, and welcome back for another chapter of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj's I Am That. And chapter 56 is the one we'll be looking at today. Consciousness arising, world arises. And we begin with a question that most people want to know the answer to. When an ordinary man dies, what happens to him? And Nisargadatta Maharaj says, according to his belief, it happens. According to his belief. As life before death is but imagination, so is life after. The dream continues. The dream continues. And what about the Jnani? The Jnani does not die because he was never born. He appears so to others, but not to himself. In himself, he is free of things physical and mental. He is free of body and mind. Still, you must know the state of the man who died, at least from your own past lives. Until I met my guru, I knew so many things. Now I know nothing. For all knowledge is in dream only and not valid. I know myself, and I find no life nor death in me. Only pure being, not being this or that, but just pure being. But the moment the mind, drawing on its stock of memories, begins to imagine, it fills the space with objects and time with events. As I do not know even this birth, how can I know past births? It is the mind that itself in movement sees everything moving, and having created time, worries about the past and future. All the universe is cradled in consciousness, which arises where there is perfect order and harmony. As all waves are in the ocean, so are all things physical and mental in awareness. All things physical and mental in awareness. Everything perceivable and conceivable are appearing in awareness. Hence, awareness itself is all important. Awareness itself is all important, not the content of awareness. Deepen and broaden your awareness of yourself, and all the blessings will flow. Deepen and broaden your awareness of yourself, and all the blessings will flow. You need not seek anything. All will come to you most naturally and effortlessly. The five senses and the four functions of the mind, memory, thought, understanding, and selfhood. The five elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether. The two aspects of creation, matter and spirit. All of these things are contained in awareness. All of these things aforementioned are just the content of consciousness. But bring your attention to the context of awareness. Awareness is the important factor in all experience. Become aware of awareness. That's the only thing to do. And it's a doing that requires no effort. Just simply notice. Noticing is such a great word. Notice. It's a very light, just a switch. Just turning back, looking back at the awareness itself, being aware of awareness, being aware of the space, the context, vast, space-like awareness. Yet, the mind continues, you must believe in having lived before. The scriptures say so, but I know nothing about it. I know myself as I am. As I appeared or will appear is not within my experience. It is not that I do not remember. In fact, there is nothing to remember. Reincarnation implies a reincarnating self. There is no such thing. There is no such thing as a reincarnating self. There is no such thing as a reincarnating self. There is no such thing as a self, a separate self. It doesn't exist. That's the illusion. The bundle of memories and hopes called the I imagines itself existing everlastingly and creates time to accommodate its false eternity. To be, I need no past or future. All experience is born of imagination. All experience is born of imagination. I do not imagine, so no birth or death happens to me. Only those who think themselves born can think themselves reborn. You are accusing me of having been born. I plead not guilty. I do not imagine, so no birth or death happens to me. Another one of those great pointers, statements which really bring to the forefront that which we should be focusing on and realizing that the imagination is creating all of this Maya and illusion. Nisargadatta says, I do not imagine. As pure awareness and pure being, I do not imagine. So no birth or death happens to me. I do not identify with name or form. I remain as the formless, empty, space-like, vast awareness. All exists in awareness, and awareness neither dies nor is reborn. Everything that you can think of, everything imaginable, everything in the universe is the content of this vast awareness. How vast must this awareness be if even the vast universe is only the content in that contextual awareness? This awareness, this true nature that you are, it must be very, very, very vast. Unimaginable. You can't imagine how large it is. It's infinity. It's infinity. No beginning and no end. All exists in awareness, and awareness neither dies nor is reborn. Birthless, deathless awareness. This is what you are. You do not arrive. You do not leave. You are eternally present, here and now. You cannot escape what you are. You can only escape what you are not, the imaginations of the mind, the imaginings of the mind. Awareness is the changeless reality itself. There it is. The truth. Of course, the truth can never be spoken, but this is pretty darn close, huh? Pretty good pointer. Awareness is the changeless reality itself. Awareness is the context. Awareness is the space in which changing consciousness appears and disappears. All the universe of experience is born with the body and dies with the body. It has its beginning and end in awareness. But awareness knows no beginning nor end. If you think it out carefully and brood over it for a long time, you will come to see the light of awareness in all its clarity, and the world will fade out of your vision. It is like looking at a burning incense stick. You see the stick and the smoke first. When you notice the fiery point, you realize that it has the power to consume mountains of sticks and fill the universe with smoke. Timelessly, the self actualizes itself without exhausting its infinite possibilities. In the incense stick simile, the stick is the body, and the smoke is the mind. As long as the mind is busy with its contortions, it does not perceive its own source. The guru comes and turns your attention to the spark within, to the awareness, looking backwards this way. By its very nature, the mind is outward turned. It always tends to seek for the source of things among the things themselves. It's always going outwards. To be told to look for the source within is, in a way, the beginning of a new life. Awareness takes the place of consciousness. In consciousness, there is the I, who is conscious. While awareness is undivided, awareness is aware of itself. The I am is a thought, while awareness is not a thought. There is no I am aware in awareness. Consciousness is an attribute, while awareness is not. One can be aware of being conscious, but not conscious of awareness. God is the totality of consciousness, but awareness is beyond all, being as well as not being. Awareness is beyond all, being as well as not being. So good. Jumping down a little bit here. There can be no transition from consciousness there can be no transition from consciousness to awareness, for awareness is not a form of consciousness. Consciousness can only become more subtle and refined, and that is what happens after death. As the various vehicles of man die off, the modes of consciousness induced by them also fade away. Until only unconsciousness remains? Look at yourself talking of unconsciousness as something that comes and goes. Who is there to be conscious of unconsciousness? As long as the window is open, there is sunlight in the room. With the window shut, the sun remains, but does it see the darkness in the room? Is there anything like darkness to the sun? No. There is no such thing as unconsciousness, for unconsciousness is not experienceable. We infer unconsciousness when there is a lapse in memory or communication. If I stop reacting, you will say that I am unconscious. In reality, I may be most acutely conscious, only unable to communicate or remember. Of course, we live in one world. Only I see it as it is, while you do not. You see yourself in the world, while I see the world in myself, awareness. To you, you get born and die, while to me the world appears and disappears. Our world is real, but your view of it is not. There is no wall between us except the one built by you. There is nothing wrong with the senses. It is your imagination that misleads you. It is your imagination that misleads you. But don't hate the imagination. It's an incredible tool. Just don't let it mislead you. It covers up the world as it is, with what you imagine it to be. Something existing independently of you, and yet closely following your inherited or acquired patterns. There is a deep contradiction in your attitude, which you do not see and which is the cause of sorrow. You cling to the idea that you were born into a world of pain and sorrow. I know that the world is a child of love, having its beginning, growth, and fulfillment in love. But I am beyond love, even. Nisargadatta Maharaj says, I know that the world which appears and disappears, this one common world, is a child of love, a creation of love, having its beginning, its growth, and fulfillment in love. It is the expression and manifestation of unconditional love. But even this love, I am beyond. Because as awareness, I am prior to everything perceivable and conceivable, everything physical or mental. I am. Okay, thank you, Nisargadatta. I will go back and read this one paragraph again because for me, it basically says everything. Huh? It really says everything. I know myself as I am. I know myself as I am. As I appeared in the past or will appear in the future is not within my experience. It is not that I do not remember. In fact, there is nothing to remember. Reincarnation implies a reincarnating self, an entity. There is no such thing. There is no self. There is no self. You are not a person. You are the absolute supreme reality. You are nothing imaginable, conceivable, perceivable. You are the pure awareness, pure being of the Supreme. Reincarnation implies a reincarnating self. There is no such thing as a separate self. You are not separate. You have never been separate. The bundle of memories of the past and hopes for the future. You see, the mind, the imagination is all about what was and what will supposedly be. And it's called the I, desires and fears, based on memory and hopes. It imagines itself existing everlastingly and creates time to accommodate its false eternity. This is why the ego does not want to hear the message of non-duality. It doesn't want to hear that it doesn't exist. But it doesn't exist. So for the seemingly separate I, there is nothing here to gain. The only thing that will happen is the loss of that which you are not. The death of the ego. Allow the I to die. It's not you. You can only lose what you are not. This is imagination. This is misunderstanding. Allow this to melt in love. It's just limitation. Allow the limitless to emerge within you. To be, I need no past or future. To be here now, I cannot not be here now. Can you stop being? I am. That's why it's the ultimate pointer. It's the only thing you are sure of. I am. I exist. I am aware. When the body goes, guess what? I am aware. Here and now. As Nisargadatta says, such a brilliant metaphor. When the building collapses, the space remains. The space was prior to the building, during the building, and after the building leaves. The space is untouched. This is what you are, in a sense. This space-like awareness, the ultimate supreme reality. To be, I don't need past or future. I am this space-like awareness prior to all consciousness and beyond. All experience is born of imagination. This dualistic reality that we're experiencing is all happening through the mind, through imagination. I do not imagine, so no birth or death happens to me. Only those who think themselves born can think themselves reborn. You are accusing me of having been born. I plead not guilty. I am the birthless and deathless awareness. All exists in awareness, and awareness neither dies nor is reborn. It is the changeless reality itself. Again, the entire universe, everything perceivable and conceivable, appears and disappears in this vast space-like awareness. And you are that awareness, birthless and deathless, untouched. It is the changeless reality. I am. It's here now, it's here always. It's what you have always been and always will be, without any effort, without any sense of choice or doing. You are that. All the universe of experience is born with the body, and it dies with the body. It has its beginning and end in awareness, but awareness knows no beginning nor end. If you think it out carefully and brood over it for a long time, you will come to see the light of awareness in all its clarity, and the world will fade out of your vision like a dream. It is like looking at a burning incense stick. You see the stick and the smoke first. When you notice the fiery point, you realize that it has the power to consume mountains of sticks and fill the universe with smoke. Timelessly, the self actualizes itself without exhausting its infinite possibilities. In the incense stick simile, the stick is the body and the smoke is the mind. As long as the mind is busy with its contortions and changing self-image, it does not perceive its own source. The guru comes and turns your attention to the spark within. By its very nature, the mind is outward turned. It always tends to seek for the source of things among the things themselves. To be told to look for the source within is, in a way, the beginning of a new life, a new way of being, a new way of experiencing reality. Awareness takes the place of consciousness. Before, we were so consumed with consciousness, experience. Experience is so entertaining and interesting. I want to experience this and this experience and that experience. We were so involved and addicted, even to this changing consciousness. Wow, it's so entertaining. But after a while, it becomes limited and suffering and unsatisfactory. So then the switch comes from the shift from consciousness to the awareness, that which has been watching the consciousness. As Nisargadatta said a couple chapters ago, the child is so busy with the toy, but the mother is not concerned with the toy. The mother is focused on the child. So we're coming back now. We're coming back to our original source. Awareness takes the place of consciousness. In consciousness, there is the false I, the ego, who is conscious, while awareness is undivided, no separation. Awareness is aware of itself. The I am is just a thought, while awareness is not a thought. It is thoughtless awareness, thought-free awareness. There is no I am aware in awareness. Awareness is silent and still. Consciousness is an attribute, while awareness is not. Awareness has no attributes. It has nothing. It is nothing in that sense. You can't point to anything and say, oh, that's what I am, because everything perceivable and conceivable, you are not. One can be aware of being conscious. I am mindful. I am eating my cereal. I am living my life, but not conscious of awareness. God is the totality of consciousness. God is the totality of consciousness, 100% of consciousness. But awareness is beyond all, being as well as not being. So the pure being with a capital B is prior and beyond little being and non-being. Okay. Another great chapter from a really great book. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Nisargadatta Maharaj. May you have a wonderful day, enjoying your here and now, wherever that may be. Gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessings upon all beings everywhere. May all human beings wake up to the greater reality. Stop looking here. You can't find yourself in thought or imagination. Find your selfless self, the you-less you, in the pure awareness, in the beingness, in the aliveness, in the presence of here and now. It's always here. It can't be far. There's no distance. There's no path to yourself, because you are what you are. Be what you cannot not be. I am, you know. I am this, I am that. These are false identifications. Just be with I am. Be with this beingness, this awareness, which is beyond everything. God is the totality of consciousness. But love, awareness is beyond all. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. Thank you, everybody. See you again. Bye-bye. Namaste.